Hi everyone, it's Jessica. Welcome back to the channel. And I was writing this morning about a quote that I came across again recently, and it's attributed to Vincent Van Gogh and goes, "If I am worth anything later, I am worth something now. For wheat is wheat, even if people think it is a grass in the beginning." And it got me thinking more about my own journey right now with putting more of my writing and videos online on Substack, on YouTube, etc. And it also reminded me of a an event that I went to where Gary Vee was being interviewed, and he said, like, most people don't want to build a personal brand, or they aren't able to because they're insecure. And he says people don't want to get 3 likes on a video, they don't want to get a comment like you're ugly even if it's from some anonymous person online. Well, the point is that it's hard putting your stuff online because everything online is public. So if something tanks, it's very obvious because everyone can just see it. And inevitably, people tie their sense of worth with the engagement that they get, views and comments, reposts, etc. So I was thinking about this in the context of my own journey and how last year, at the end of last year slash beginning of this year, I was posting more consistently on Substack Notes, which is kind of like a Twitter equivalent type of feature on the Substack app and also just like substack.com. But I was posting daily and kind of like engaging more on there. And at first, for a while, like most of the things that I posted got literally 0 likes, 0 engagement, nothing. But I just kept posting every day and also like commenting, liking, etc., like other notes on there. And eventually, in early March, I had my first note go more viral, I guess, but I use that word very, very generously, where I posted a note that got several thousand likes. And then similarly, a note that I posted in April has gotten several thousand likes and has continued to grow. And I just thought about like the difference in like a few handful of months ago versus now. And obviously the constant is that I've kept up with the consistency of like posting and engaging. But in terms of like the actual content that I'm sharing, or like even my writing style, like it's pretty much the same. Like nothing has really changed in terms of what I have been posting. But the difference is just the effort that has paid off over time. And I feel like this is an important point to keep in mind, which, like the quote by Van Gogh highlights, it's like, if I'm worth anything later, I'm worth something now. I think this is so important to keep in mind because often when we are getting started with something like building your personal brand online, it's very easy to be discouraged by the lack of positive feedback or any feedback at all at first. And that lack of feedback, whether it's positive or negative, or just like lack of positive feedback, can be discouraging and can lead us to question our self-worth, our abilities, competency, everything, because we're not getting that. And then seeing the change of the notes not getting any engagement to them getting engagement made me realize that it's not even me doing anything different that leads to more engagement, but rather it's like a mix of like luck and like effort and time that plays a role in seeing success in something. And again, I use the word success very loosely here because it's just some notes getting engagement. But I think in real time, like this is like an example of something that has me thinking more about how that quote applies. The other thing was I was watching a performance that Post Malone did at Coachella. His song "Congratulations," which I think is like one of his top hits, and he talks about at the end of the song how like 10 years ago he put out some music and some people were like, "Oh, he's just a one-hit wonder. He's not going to last." And he just kept telling the audience like you need to believe in yourself, like you need to believe in your dreams, you need to do the best you can, never give up, never give up. He says that, he repeats that like several times. And seeing his transformation or just like progress, right, from 10 years ago to now is amazing because he's like a prolific such a successful artist. And I think that it just shows the difference that a positive and grateful mindset can make on your success. And I've heard him speak about his gratitude also in a different concert, the like NPR Tiny Desk one that I watched. I don't know when that came out, maybe like a couple years ago or something, but he just seems to embody a very grateful and like positive spirit. So I think his example shows the difference that time can make, right? Like 10 years, as well as maintaining that positive spirit and what those two things can do for you in terms of moving you towards your dreams. And it all just ties back to the quote of like, if I'm worth anything later, I'm worth something now. So the takeaway is regardless of what your current circumstances are showing you, whatever is happening in your current 3D, like no engagement, you're getting negative engagement, whatever the case is, or if you're getting slight positive engagement, don't tether your self worth, your belief in yourself too much to that, because just know that if you continue putting in the work, putting in the love, putting in the creativity and everything into what you're doing, with time and with luck, things will move you towards your dreams. And just hearing Post talk about his journey, like he's like 10 years ago, blah, 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 all of this, it really gives you perspective and gave me a lot of perspective on, yeah, the power that time can make, as well as the importance of like a positive mindset on getting you to your goals. And at the end of the day, we just need to know wherever we are on our journey, we have to maintain that strong sense of belief. And that's also why some people, like, once you make it, however you define it, they're like, oh, yeah, I always knew that. You like, I always saw that in you. And some people you believe when they say that more than others. But like some people truly think, like, oh, I saw that in you. Like, since before you even made it, before there was any physical evidence of it, there was like a strong sense of belief in yourself. So that's what I wanted to share today. I'll read the quote just one more time so it really sinks in. By Van Gogh. If I am worth anything later, I am worth something now. For wheat is wheat, even if people think it is a grass in the beginning. I'll leave you with that. Hope that this resonated with you in some way, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.